Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of This Week on iRacing. Now, no time for messing around because there's quite a few things I'd like to cover this week. So let's kick off with the IMSA series, shall we? So we're going to look at the IMSA Open, the IMSA Fixed and the Global Endurance Tour. Now, we're heading to Monza for this week, okay? And very, very interestingly, the 6 hour, which involves the GTPs, LMP2s and GT3s, it's raining all the time. Like, it doesn't stop. It's 100% rain, and it is heavy rain. Like, it is properly heavy rain. Like, there is red on the radar for quite a bit of it. It's patchy, but there's a lot of rain, and a lot of it is red. So it's going to get very, very spicy out there. If you're in a GTP for this, I wish you the best of luck in the world, because it is going to be super, super scary for you. Now, I've done a few laps, and Monza's actually not too bad in the rain, but I will say I was in LMP2, and we all know the LMP2 is quite nice to drive in the rain compared to other vehicles, shall we say. But yeah, 6 hour this weekend at Monza. It's 100% chance of rain, and it's gonna get spicy, very spicy indeed. As for the IMSA Open and the IMSA Fixed, they have no chance of rain. So yeah, it's a tough one, really. I mean, it would have been nice, personally, if Open or Fixed had some sort of chance of rain, so you could kind of get an idea of what it would be like at the weekend. I think having it 0% doesn't really prepare you well for the weekend, and I think it kind of puts people off doing rain endurance races because they won't have done any prep during the week, unless they have, actually done the official practice sessions, which, I'll be honest, I don't think many people do, because a lot of people just use IMSA for your practice anyways. But yeah, that's IMSA for you this week. We're going to Monza. It starts in the morning, like 7:05 in the morning. So track temp is very low, even when it doesn't rain. It's like 18, 19 degrees. So track temp is not an issue at all. I expect this series to be popular this week. Monza's always popular, regardless of what, types of car or class go there. So yeah, it should be lots of fun, this one. The weekend, if you're going to do the endurance this weekend, best of luck. I think it will be a lot of fun, but yeah, it's going to be chaotic to say the least. Now, moving over to a track that can be chaotic, but shouldn't be too bad this week, Laguna Seca. We're heading to Laguna Seca for the GT Sprint Series, the GT Endurance Series, and the Fanatec GT3 Challenge. So all three series are heading here, as you would fully expect. Just GT cars for this one. It's at Laguna Seca. Track temps are very, very low. Just 18 degrees. Again, I believe it's starting in the morning, so track temperature isn't something that you really need to worry about. Tips-wise, all jokes aside, the only place for me personally you really need to worry about is the corkscrew. So easy to go deep, go off, get an off track, or even worse, a slow down. And sometimes people can be mad enough to go for sends up the inside. So please do be wary of that. And this corner here as well, actually, very, very easy to hit the inside sausage curb there and send yourself to Narnia. So please don't go to Narnia, not this week. But yeah, apart from that, pretty simple, really. I mean, the track's popular. It's a free track, so as soon as a series has a free track on it, popularity seems to generally be good anyways, because lots of people, well, you don't need to buy the track, as simple as that, really. And it's GT3 cars, which I have to say, for me personally, without a doubt, I don't know about it statistically, but for me, I think the GT3 cars are the most popular on the service by quite some margin. I'd have to double check that, but I think pretty much everyone on the service tends to have at least one GT3 car these days. And the fact, like I said, the fact it's going to be a free track this week, I fully expect this to be quite popular. Quite chaotic at times, because it is a thin track. It is difficult to overtake. But regardless of that, should be good fun. Should have a good bit of popularity as well. Should be some decent splits as well. So yeah, I have to say, IMSA and GT Sprint this week are looking far better for me personally than the previous weeks combined. Much better week so far. Let's see how it goes for the rest of the week. Okay, next up we have the Super Formula Lights, and they're heading to the Nürburgring. Unfortunately not the Nordschleife, but the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit. Now, quite interestingly, the Fixed has no chance of rain, but the Open has a 29% chance of rain, which could be quite fun. to be honest with you. I think rain in these cars are fantastic. It's brilliant fun. It can be very scary at times. If you don't have the right setup, then it is super, super sketchy. But it is a lot of fun and can produce some excellent racing. And even if it doesn't produce some excellent racing, shall we say, as long as you survive, you will go forward. In Super Formula Lights, it's as simple as that, really, because it can be very chaotic indeed. But tip for this one is it's a standing start. So T1, lap 1. Do be very, very careful. It's so easy to go deep into T1 and then T-bone someone by accident. So please do be careful with that. And of course, you know, if you're going into T1 yourself, do watch your inside, because, you know, that could very much happen to you as well. But yeah, Super Formula Lights and Nürburgring Grand Prix track should be a good track for these Super Formula Lights. Track temperature is 19 degrees. Again, all three tracks really have been below 20 degrees. So super cool temps this week. What do you expect, really? You know, this time of year, for where the tracks are located, it's going to be cool. It's going to be quite cold indeed. But yeah, should be good fun in the Super Formula Lights this week. Now, sticking to Formula cars, actually, we're heading to Spa in the Formula 4 cars for this week in the Formula 4 Challenge and Formula 4 Fixed. Now, this is interesting to say the least, because the Fixed has a slight chance of rain. Again, whatever that means, I don't know. It doesn't really give us a percentage. And then the Open has a massive 84% chance of rain. So you need to be careful in the Open. It's going to be scary. It's going to be, yeah. I mean, Eau Rouge and Raidillon, turn 3, 4, and 5 for the first lap, going to be super, super, super sketchy. So massive. Like, I cannot tell you enough. You have to be careful going through there for the first time, because it is going to be hell on earth, all right? But if you get through it for the first time, you should be okay. It's going to be chaotic. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of people start from the pits in the Open if it's raining, because it might be the safer bet. But we'll see. We'll see. But this should be super fun. The Open Formula stuff this week is really good. I've got to say, Super Formula Lights and then the Formula 4s here at Spa. Should be a really, really good week. I might try and do some stuff in the Open Formula stuff. I might have a stream dedicated just doing the F4 and the Formula C this week. Try and get my A license back, maybe get it back to 4K as well or something. But yeah, should be a lot of fun. Do be careful though. If your SR is low, maybe this might not be the combo for you. But should be a lot of fun, like I've said. And yeah, I mean, it's F4 cars at Spa. What's not to like? Now, the idea of this series is to cover what I can in a lot of detail without taking too much of your time up. But that does lead to me not covering everything. So I am going to add a new section called Honourable Mentions, where we talk about series that I can't cover in quite some detail, but you still might want to know about. So first up is PCC is heading to VIR with a slight chance of rain. So that could be quite interesting indeed. The Ringmeister series this week has the free oval cars, and they're always good fun racing around here. We've literally just done the NASCAR Next Gen cars, and they were hilarious because they just didn't stop. The brakes are awful. It's unbelievable how bad the brakes are on those cars. Another honourable mention as well is the F3 cars, or the Formula Cs. They are heading to Bathurst, so that should be a good laugh as well. That should be good fun. Quite chaotic, as you can imagine. I've done it before, and yeah, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that end up in it going down the mountain. Or you actually no, you probably would. You probably would. But yeah, that definitely deserves a shout out, and I expect that to be fairly popular as well. You can see why I said earlier in the video why this is quite a good week compared to the previous two. And then lastly, we got the Falcon Tyre Sports Car Challenge going to Zolder, the Grand Prix layout, with no chance of rain. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, if you do enjoy this series and you want to support the channel, please hit the old like button, subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you beautiful people for the next episode next week. But take care, enjoy the rest of the week. Ta-da.